Back on this historic day of news, my colleague Rachel Maddow has been monitoring some of the, for lack of a better word, vitriol coming out from the right. What are you seeing?
Well, Nicole, one of the things that we're watching today is not only what this means personally for Donald Trump and for his political future and all the rest of it. What we're watching is to see what this means for the country. And Donald Trump has been pretty explicit in warning that if the legal system is used to hold him to account, that he will call on his supporters to respond through means of protest or through means of fighting or other terms like that. Well, we've certainly seen already in pro-Trump message boards and things online, we've seen people definitely calling for violence. We saw some of that after his first indictment as well. But we've also seen a couple of things from Republican members of Congress. What's on the screen right here is from Republican Congressman Clay Higgins of Louisiana. President Trump said, this is from last night, President Trump said he has been summoned to appear at the federal courthouse in Miami on Tuesday. This is a perimeter probe from the oppressors. Hold. Our POTUS has this. Our POTUS is a thing that Trump people use, which means real president of the United States, implying that he actually was reelected, even though he was not. This is a perimeter probe from the oppressors. Hold. Our POTUS has this. Buckle up. 1/50K, which I think is a reference to the scale on military maps. Know your bridges, which presumably means, like, be ready when it comes to, you know, knowing about critical infrastructure. Rock steady calm, that is all. So this is a perimeter probe from the oppressors, and then this reference in military jargon to what people should be doing in response to it, with the specific reference to which courthouse Trump is going to be in on Tuesday and at what time. That was from Clay Higgins last night. I think you saw some sort of alarmed response to that. What exactly is Congressman Higgins doing here? But then this afternoon, it got a little bit worse. Republican Congressman Andy Biggs of Arizona posting this afternoon. Quote, "We have now reached a war phase, eye for an eye." So again, we are seeing Trump supporters and Trump, pro-Trump media personalities on the right effectively calling for violence, at least calling for some sort of physical resistance to this act by the Justice Department. But to have members of Congress using language like this, I'm glad it is not more than two of them thus far, but we are seeing at least a couple of them get pretty far out on a limb, to the point where that limb starts breaking in terms of whether or not we are a country that's going to accept that everybody's bound by the rule of law and we have to let the process play out.
I mean, Rachel, we have one investigation, the January 6th Select Committee probe, that was able to track the impact of the December 19th tweet, quote, "will be wild," to the acts for which two groups, militia members, were found guilty of seditious conspiracy. We have a current warning by DHS and the FBI governing our whole country right now, saying that around political events and political actors, basically every group except Republican men are a potential target for violence. And we have, in the era of Trump, acts of political violence that have been carried out against the speaker's husband, against election workers in New Mexico. I mean, it's not a will it happen, it's a has it happened and will it happen again?
Yeah, well, and it's interesting to see.
We also have Florida,
yes.
Rachel.
Yeah.
We have Florida. We have the fact that, that is Enrique Tarrio's base. It has become a Proud Boys hotbed, and it has become, those who watch national security are concerned about Florida becoming a magnet for extremists and extremism. It is the planning base of, MAGA right now. It is the headquarters. And it's concerning that a member of Congress, a member of the body that was attacked on January 6th, would actually do a stand back and stand by type tweet in reference to Donald Trump. And if that was last night, that's before anybody got a chance to read the indictment. It is actually frightening. Yeah. And I think, the security around that Miami courthouse it better be real tight, because this isn't having to fly people into D.C. Miami already has the problem. Miami already has it, and let's be reminded that Florida is now a no-permit carry state. It is now a state where the governor is encouraging it to become more like Texas in terms of, wielding firearms. This stuff is the stuff that makes me lose sleep, because Florida ain't the Florida that I lived in. Florida has become much more extremist, and it's a little scary to have members of Congress stoking this.
Yes, and I think the thing to watch, too, Joy, is what Trump himself calls for from his supporters, because I think one of the underappreciated things about his earlier indictment a couple of months ago in New York is that I do think it was somewhat humiliating for Trump that he called for nationwide protests like the country has never seen in response to that indictment. And it was like, you know, a handful of people on a bridge going to Mar-a-Lago. It was a handful of people on a bridge going to Mar-a-Lago. It was whoever just turned off the screen behind me. That was an incredible protest. But it was, you know, in New York on the day of his indictment or his arraignment in New York, yeah, there was like a busload of people in New York, but he really wanted the whole country shut down by mass pro-Trump civil disobedience, and he didn't get it, and it was a humiliation. And he's very, you know, he's very attuned to his crowd sizes. And so it may be that he approaches this differently in terms of asking for something that he might not get. But you're absolutely right, Joy. The geography here matters, and asking for it in Manhattan might be a totally different kettle of fish than asking for it in Florida.
Alex.
I was going to say, you know, I think it's really meaningful that it's members of Congress that are saying this, that are using this military lingo. As someone who's spoken to former militia members in advance of January 6th, a lot of these guys that were responsible for January 6th are ex-military, current military. They're in law enforcement. They understand what that means. And we're not talking about an ousted former president calling for this. We're talking about people who are currently in Congress, who, by the way, the president has tasked with getting him off the hook, and who have so far been falling in line. I mean, if you see what the Oversight Committee has been doing in recent weeks, if you look at what the Judiciary Committee has been doing in recent weeks, they're listening to Trump, and they have power. And that is a real distinction, right? I mean, we know that Congress has tried to mess around with Alvin Bragg, but we know that Jim Jordan, Comer, the rest of them, they are very fired up about this. And now you have these tweets that are really in no uncertain terms calling for military footing.
For action.